Chefs are always looking for interesting ways to take their favorite ingredients and weave them into new recipes. New York City is known for these type of restaurants, and most would say it's really nothing new. Well, I first heard about a restaurant a little off the beaten path in Williamsburg that is an exemplification of this idea, but it has also sparked a heated debate over what is appropriate in the Jewish faith and cuisine. As many celebrate Hanukkah this time of year, we are reminded of the strong traditions and beliefs of the Jewish faith, and also that being religious can mean many different things to different people. When the Jewish owner and chef Jason Marcus blogged online about the concept of this new restaurant prior to its opening in April 2010, it was received with comments such as, "The title of your restaurant seems inappropriate and offensive to the Jewish community. And since you're Jewish, you shouldn't be doing this." What makes his restaurant concept unique is a menu that is truly treif. I had the opportunity to sit down with Jason Marcus to talk about his new restaurant, which is appropriately and controversially named Treif.
Treif is a Yiddish word. It means unkosher. What it means sort of specific to this restaurant is we use a lot of pork and shellfish, which a lot of people would sort of signify that's what treif means, or unkosher foods tend to be pork and shellfish. So that's sort of the literal. The philosophical idea is that I'm sort of being true to myself, following, what I like, what I think is interesting, both as a chef and, as a Jewish person, as a restaurateur.
Well, in the beginning, when he first started sharing this idea of a restaurant that would be called Treif, even his own parents took just a little bit of persuading.
Calling something treif isn't just denoting a type of food, it's something that's gross, And so I think that in their mind, they're like, well, why would you call the restaurant gross? My parents liked the idea of it, and they understand, especially when I said, listen, you guys are 30 years older than me. Imagine if you were 30 years younger than you. You might have a different idea. I mean, I know what treif is, but my parents didn't use that word. They weren't like, oh, that stuff is treif, Their parents did. So their relation to it is much closer than mine is. Mine is just, oh, that's the word for unkosher food. And that's it. I mean, there's no bad connotation, good connotation, whatever. It's just a word. To them, it has deeper meaning.
And many people do think it has a deeper meaning. But Jason stands strong on the idea that food should not be the focus in religion.
It's not that I'm like rebelling against what I'm not supposed to eat or what I'm supposed to eat. I'm just eating what I like, what I think tastes good. There's so many other things I don't follow. Eating to me is like, to me, it's silly. That should be the focus of I'm doing wrong. I'm being an immoral Jew. I mean, there's other things that I'm not doing, and I think that there are things that I am doing. What I eat is really, to me, is not the focus.
Some of the interview that I found most interesting was these comments from Jason.
The reason the Hasidic community came to New York is, religious expression. And so to me, it would be ironic and sort of, I wouldn't say unethical, but on that genre to say I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to express myself because somebody might find offense to it. Religions adapt. There's very few Catholic people that are living like a Catholic person in 1342 in Rome. It doesn't mean to them they're not Catholic.
In my opinion, Treif has made a great move situating themselves right in Williamsburg. Though they had originally planned to be in Manhattan, they've really found a real home here in the neighborhood. When I asked them how so many of their neighbors had already found out about them.
But a lot of it is word of mouth. And I think this is really where Williamsburg, especially like in the South Side, which is a little bit more, underdeveloped, where it's really benefited us is because, people come in, especially at the beginning, they love it. They're like, we're going to come back as many times as possible. We're going to make sure you stay here a long time. They wanted to be a part of us. They wanted us to do well. You don't get that in Manhattan.
And they are doing well. It was a Wednesday night in the rain, and it was packed. What I love about this place was there was tons of local art on the wall, a lot of unique touches, and the open kitchen, which is really cool because it allows you to, see what's going on back there. But as we all know in New York, no matter how much attention a restaurant gets for any reason, if the food isn't great, it won't last. So let's talk a little bit about that food. I found a bacon-loving friend, and believe me, we dug in. Now, the menu is composed of a bunch of small plates that are really meant to be shared, and the price is right, so you can order a ton of stuff and get little tastes of everything. One of the dishes I was obsessed with was the tuna tartare. unlike any tartare I've ever had. It was served on a tempura fried piece of eggplant. So you have this beautiful tuna, it's tossed in some mayo and some great flavors, but then it's served over a warm fried eggplant, which made the whole bite warm, which is odd for a tartare, but it really worked. And with this thick sweet soy sauce over the top, it was the first dish I had, and it really just showed me that Chef Jason's got a lot of creativity and a lot of passion for creating these amazing plates of food. We also enjoyed the Thai spicy sweet calamari, which could feed an army. A lot of bang for your buck there. My only complaint there is that it got a little bit soggy as it sat there, but you all know what that means. You just have to eat it faster. Now, there were some dishes like the lamb and chorizo meatballs and the scallops that didn't necessarily blow my socks off, but they were still meticulously, beautifully prepared dishes. You know, he really is doing everything right. They just didn't have as much oomph as some of the other amazing dishes. You know, in general, what I really appreciated was, you know, he used a lot of bacon, but, you know, they were always done in a really balanced dish. One of the most perfect bacon dishes was actually the bacon donuts with this dulce de leche sauce. Guys, these were amazing. The sauce just made them. Even after the donuts were gone, I was just licking the sauce off the plate, which is not a very attractive thing. And on top of that great sauce were these little finely chopped pieces of salty, crunchy bacon that just gave it this tiny bit of texture, this little bit of bite, and it was a really great complement to it. Oh, and the coffee ice cream on the side may have been the strongest coffee ice cream I've ever had. I think I tasted it and got a caffeine buzz, which I'm not complaining about. So whether you are intrigued by the name or the bacon donuts, Trafe is definitely a place worth checking out, and it'll definitely get you talking.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
Nikki, what was the atmosphere in the restaurant like?
It was good. You know, it's cozy, it's smaller, kind of like you might expect to find in Williamsburg. And with that open kitchen, there's always a bit of energy and some liveliness there. But in general, it's a place where you want to go, have a couple drinks, and just be biting and kind of drinking all night. It's a good place.
Jack, do you think that maybe Matisyahu stopped by there after his concert to have a bite to eat?
He should have.
I don't think he would.
It's possible. I think, you know, he was tired.
Maybe minus the bacon.
It's been a long tour.
All right, well, great. It's been a great show. I want to thank all of our guests.